with us. And so it's my privilege now to introduce another sweet friend of ours. This is Dr. Ashley Hickman Zink. And why don't you just share a little bit about your medical specialty and how your specialty finds overlap with our mission and with the families that we serve?
Sure. I'm a maternal fetal medicine physician, and that's a subspecialty of OBGYN. It involves another 3 years of training beyond routine obstetrics and gynecology residency, primarily in genetics, prenatal diagnosis, mostly with ultrasound, and care of high-risk pregnant women.
And so to make that really practical as well, you are often in that room that we will always and forever remember, which is when we're receiving these life-limiting diagnoses for our kiddos. And such a sacred space in so many ways, and such a unique perspective that you have as the medical provider in that room alongside our families. And so if you could just share a couple minutes worth of just what is that like, and what are the observations you've seen, not just as you're delivering this news, but as, you know, in our country right now, parents then also have a choice and two different paths that they can take from that point forward. Mm-hmm. And so just share a few thoughts on kind of what you've seen and observed.
Sure. In a way, it's the worst of my job. Families come to me either as a referral from their OBGYN because of some type of ultrasound concern or a screening test that shows concern. But either way, sometimes families come just because of age, for us to take an extra deep look at their baby. And these are still rare diagnoses: trisomy 18, trisomy 13, anencephaly. A lot of these life-limiting diagnoses people haven't heard of until they come to my office. And then while they came in thinking they'll find out if they're having a boy or a girl, they leave with just devastating news. And so I know that my interactions with those families are going to be the most important thing that I probably do that day. It's a difficult thing to tell a family that they probably won't celebrate many birthdays with the baby that they're expecting. That's not what people expect when they are pregnant. And so it's true. We have families that have chosen, many different options. But I don't find that the families that choose to proceed with pregnancy and deliver whenever is obstetrically indicated, I don't find that they're more sad because they got to meet their child. I find that they have joy and excitement leading up to the delivery, thinking about how they're going to plan the delivery, who's going to be there, what kind of mementos they're looking at. It gives them something to look forward to in the midst of knowing that there will be loss. And I think even the process of meeting that baby, I know a lot of people think it's gonna be more sad because they got to meet the baby and then the baby passes. But I don't find that to be the case at all. These families have birth certificates, they have names for their babies. Their friends and family got to know that baby was, and they can say the name for years to come. And I really find that that's very comforting to a lot of families.
Yeah, and all the stats and the science is starting to catch up to that as we read about studies from places like Duke University and other places just about the well-being of mothers that choosing to move forward and carry and cherish their child over the long run. They do statistically significantly better, to where we think that we're sparing ourselves of something by ending the journey early. And we're now learning that it doesn't spare any suffering and grief. Really, it ends up compounding it. And so that was really fascinating for me to hear you share that just from an observation standpoint. Any other just final thoughts as we move on and hear more music and catch more vision tonight? But this has been really special. Thank you for being here with us. And anything you would leave our friends with?
I would just say if you have a friend or family member and you learn that they're going through this, refer them to Abel Speaks. Encourage them and support them. Becoming unpregnant quickly doesn't change that it's sad, but going through the journey and having support makes all the difference. I've been caring for families of babies like Abel for years, but having the opportunity to have an organization like Abel Speaks has been a game changer for me. Because while I've been walking next to these families, I've never walked in their shoes. And you guys have. And you provide quality resources and community and support, and that's priceless. And I've chosen to steward some of my resources to financially support the organization. And if you have the opportunity or the ability to, I would encourage you to as well. It's very important work.
Well, you're a blessing to us and a blessing to all of the families that are fortunate enough to come to you.